Have you ever poured your heart into someone, only to feel ignored or undervalued? It's frustrating, right? But what if I told you there's a way to reverse that? In today's video, we're revealing 10 ancient reverse psychology techniques rooted in Buddhist philosophy that can completely change how others treat you. These principles will help you earn love and respect without needing to chase anyone. Stick with us to learn how you can become a magnetic force that naturally draws people in. The power of absence. Have you ever noticed that people often take things for granted when they're always available? The phrase, "absence makes the heart grow fonder," isn't just a saying, it's a reflection of human nature. In our fast-paced world where everything is instant, constant availability can lead to being undervalued. Buddhist teachings provide deep insight into the concept of impermanence, the idea that nothing in life lasts forever, and this applies to relationships too. When something is always within reach, people stop seeing its true value. Imagine a rare piece of art that you can only see once a year. Every time it becomes available, people rush to see it because they know it won't be around for long. This is how human psychology works. By making yourself less available, you become like that rare piece of art, something that people long for and seek out. The fear of losing you causes others to appreciate you more deeply, creating a stronger desire to maintain the connection. In relationships, this idea of absence plays a crucial role. If you're always the one texting first, always available for every plan, people might subconsciously take you for granted. But if you create a little distance and allow space for others to miss you, they'll begin to recognize your worth. Buddhism teaches us to embrace impermanence and understand that nothing is guaranteed, including relationships. When people start to feel that you might not always be there, they'll realize how valuable you truly are and make more effort to keep you in their lives. 2. Protect your time. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, yet it's also one of the easiest things to give away. Many of us allow others to monopolize our time without realizing how this diminishes our value. Think about it. When you're always available at the drop of a hat, people begin to assume that your time isn't valuable, that you'll always be there whenever they need you. This leads to being taken for granted. Buddhism teaches us the importance of mindfulness, being fully present in every moment and treating each second as something valuable. By applying this concept to your relationships, you can transform how others perceive you. Imagine your time as a rare resource like gold or diamonds. When people realize that your time is limited, they'll begin to treasure it more. They won't waste it because they'll know that spending time with you is a privilege, not something to take lightly. Setting boundaries around your time shows that you respect yourself, and in turn, others will respect you more. If you're constantly available, people will continue to assume you'll always be there. But when you're selective with your availability, they'll start to value your presence more. This doesn't mean being distant or aloof. It means being deliberate with how you spend your time. Show others that your time is valuable, and they'll be more likely to seek it out and treat it with the respect it deserves. 3. Embrace mystery. In today's world of social media and constant sharing, there's little left to the imagination. Everyone knows everything about everyone, and as a result, mystery has become a rare and valuable commodity. The art of reverse psychology lies in withholding just enough information to keep people intrigued. When you reveal everything about yourself up front, there's no room for curiosity, no reason for people to keep wondering or wanting more. Buddhist teachings often emphasize the idea of gradual understanding, unfolding the truth layer by layer, much like peeling an onion. The same concept can be applied to your personal life. Think of yourself as a calm lake. On the surface, everything seems clear and serene, but beneath that surface lies a depth that can only be uncovered with patience and time. When you don't reveal everything about yourself right away, you leave room for others to be curious about who you are, what you think, and what you've experienced. By maintaining an air of mystery, you create a magnetic pull that draws people toward you. They'll want to get to know you on a deeper level, and the more they invest in discovering the real you, the more valuable you become to them. This doesn't mean being secretive or manipulative, but rather keeping some things private and allowing others to uncover more about you over time. When people feel like there's always something new to learn about you, they'll be drawn to you in ways that go beyond superficial connections. 4. Make people invest in you. There's a universal truth in both psychology and Buddhism. People value what they invest time and energy into. If you're always the one giving, always the one putting in effort, others might start to take you for granted. But if you allow others to invest in you, to make an effort to get to know you and spend time with you, they'll begin to value you more. Buddhism teaches the importance of balance and reciprocity in relationships. It's not healthy or sustainable to always be the giver or the one who puts in all the effort. Relationships thrive when both parties invest in each other equally. If you're constantly giving without receiving, the dynamic becomes unbalanced and you may find yourself feeling drained or unappreciated. One of the most powerful techniques in reverse psychology is allowing others to invest in you. Let them take the initiative to reach out, to plan time together, or to offer help. When people invest their time, emotions, and energy into you, they subconsciously place more value on the relationship. They don't want to lose something they've worked hard to cultivate. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about creating a balanced dynamic where both people feel valued and appreciated. When you let others invest in you, you're also teaching them to appreciate the effort they've put in. The more someone invests in a relationship, the more important that relationship becomes to them. By creating this balance, you can build healthier, more fulfilling connections where both parties feel equally valued. 5. Prioritize yourself. Selflessness is often seen as a virtue, but when taken too far, it can lead to being undervalued. If you're always putting other people's needs ahead of your own, you send the message that your own happiness and well-being aren't important. Over time, this can lead to others taking advantage of your kindness, assuming that you'll always be there to accommodate their needs. Buddhism teaches the importance of self-compassion and self-respect. Before you can truly care for others, you must first take care of yourself. Think of it like the oxygen mask rule on airplanes. You have to put your own mask on first before helping others. If you don't prioritize your own needs, you'll eventually burn out and you won't be able to help anyone. By practicing self-compassion and prioritizing your own well-being, you teach others to respect you more. When people see that you value your own time, health, and happiness, they'll begin to value it too. This doesn't mean being selfish. It means setting healthy boundaries and ensuring that you're taking care of yourself first. In Buddhism, balance is key, and this applies to your relationships as well. When you prioritize yourself, you create a foundation for healthier, more balanced relationships where both parties' needs are respected. People will start to see you as someone who values their own worth, and they'll naturally begin to respect your boundaries and your time. By taking care of yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. 6. Don't make others the center of your life. In relationships, it's easy to fall into the trap of making someone else the center of your world. Whether it's a romantic partner, a friend, or even a family member, placing too much emphasis on another person can lead to dependency and an unhealthy dynamic. When your entire sense of self-worth is tied to someone else, you lose your independence, and over time, this can lead to resentment. Buddhism teaches the value of detachment and recognizing that we are complete on our own. True happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. When you make someone else the center of your life, you're placing your happiness in their hands, which is a recipe for disappointment. Instead of centering your life around someone else, focus on building your own life. Pursue your passions, cultivate your interests, and grow as an individual. When others see that you have your own goals, ambitions, and life outside of the relationship, they'll respect you more. Independence is attractive because it shows that you don't need someone else to complete you. You are whole on your own, and when you stop making others the center of your universe, they'll start to see how valuable your presence truly is. By creating a life that is rich and fulfilling on its own, you set a standard for how others should treat you. They'll understand that your time and attention are valuable, and they'll work harder to be a part of your life. This isn't about playing games. It's about creating a healthy balance where both people can thrive independently and together. 7. Stop always initiating conversations. In any relationship, whether it's with friends, family, or a romantic partner, communication is essential. But what if you find that you're always the one initiating the conversations? Perhaps you're always the first one to text, to call, or to make plans. Over time, this can create an unhealthy dynamic where the other person starts to rely on your initiative and may begin to take your efforts for granted. They might even assume that you'll always reach out, which can lead to an imbalance of effort in the relationship. When you're constantly the one initiating, it gives the impression that you're more invested than they are. This can unintentionally make the other person less appreciative of your efforts because they know they don't have to work for your attention or time. The balance of energy becomes skewed, where you're always giving, and the other person becomes comfortable in a passive role. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes the importance of balance and stillness. By applying this concept to your relationships, you can create space for others to come to you. Instead of always being the one to make the first move, allow some stillness to exist. Give others the opportunity to reach out and show that they value your presence. This doesn't mean ignoring people or playing hard to get. It's about allowing the energy to flow more naturally, creating a balance where both parties contribute equally. When you stop always initiating, you give others the chance to miss you and to make an effort. This shift can lead to a more balanced and respectful dynamic where both parties feel valued. Remember, in Buddhism, the practice of stillness and patience allows for a deeper understanding of oneself and others. By stepping back and allowing others to take the lead sometimes, you create an environment where your presence is truly appreciated. 8. Create your own happiness. Many of us look to external sources, such as relationships, possessions, or achievements, to bring us happiness. We often believe that if we have the perfect partner, the ideal job, or the right group of friends, then we will finally be happy. However, true happiness cannot be found outside of ourselves. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a strong emphasis on cultivating inner peace and joy, regardless of external circumstances. One of the most powerful forms of reverse psychology is demonstrating that you are happy and content on your own. When you rely on others to make you happy, it places an unnecessary burden on them and can lead to disappointment. But when you create your own happiness, through self-care, pursuing your passions and finding joy in the present moment, you become a beacon of positive energy. Others are naturally drawn to this energy because it radiates confidence, contentment, and inner peace. Creating your own happiness doesn't mean shutting people out or avoiding relationships. It means taking responsibility for your emotional well-being and recognizing that no one else can complete you. When you take ownership of your happiness, you're no longer dependent on external factors to feel fulfilled. This independence is not only empowering for you, but it also makes you more attractive to others. People will be drawn to your positive energy because they can see that you are happy within yourself, not relying on anyone else for your sense of worth or joy. In relationships, this mindset shift can change the dynamic significantly. When you are happy on your own, you don't need to chase after others or seek constant validation. Instead, you can enjoy your relationships from a place of abundance and confidence rather than from a place of neediness or lack. By cultivating your own happiness, you create a magnetic presence that others will want to be around. 9. Be willing to walk away. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or professional, one of the most difficult things to do is walk away when you're not being treated with the respect and love you deserve. Often we hold on to relationships long after they've become unhealthy, out of fear of being alone, fear of change, or a desire to avoid conflict. But Buddhist teachings remind us of the importance of non-attachment, the idea that we should not cling to things, people, or situations that no longer serve our growth. Which of these techniques resonates with you the most? Have you noticed any patterns in your walking away? Is not about being cold-hearted or detached. It's about recognizing your self-worth and protecting your well-being. When you're willing to walk away from a relationship that is no longer healthy, you send a clear message. You know your value, and you refuse to be treated in a way that diminishes your worth. This is one of the most powerful forms of reverse psychology because it forces others to confront the possibility of losing you. In many cases, people don't realize what they have until it's gone. When you demonstrate that you're not afraid to walk away from a relationship that doesn't serve you, it shifts the power dynamic. The other person will begin to see you in a new light, recognizing that you are not someone who can be taken for granted. This often leads to a deeper respect and appreciation, as people realize that they need to treat you with the care and consideration you deserve. In Buddhism, non-attachment doesn't mean not caring about others. It means caring in a way that is healthy, balanced, and free from dependency. By being willing to walk away from situations that are no longer aligned with your well-being, you create space for relationships that are healthier and more fulfilling. You're not walking away out of anger or spite. You're walking away because you value yourself enough to seek relationships that uplift and support you. 10. Master emotional balance. In the heat of the moment, emotions can often get the better of us. Whether it's anger, frustration, or even love, emotions have a powerful influence over our actions and decisions. In relationships, it's easy to get caught up in these intense emotions, reacting impulsively and sometimes saying or doing things we later regret. However, Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of emotional balance and mindfulness, being aware of our emotions without letting them control us. One of the most powerful aspects of reverse psychology is maintaining emotional stability, especially in challenging situations. When you remain calm and composed, even in the face of conflict or adversity, it commands respect from others. People will start to see you as someone who is in control of their emotions, someone who can handle difficult situations with grace and poise. In relationships, this emotional balance is crucial. If you're constantly reacting emotionally, whether it's through anger, jealousy, or neediness, people may start to see you as unpredictable or unstable. But when you master your emotions, you become a pillar of strength, someone others can rely on for support and wisdom. This emotional stability is incredibly attractive because it creates a sense of safety and trust in your relationships. Buddhism teaches that emotions are not something to be suppressed, but rather something to be observed and understood. By practicing mindfulness, you can become more aware of your emotional triggers and learn to respond rather than react. This doesn't mean being emotionless or detached. It means finding a balance between feeling your emotions and allowing them to dictate your actions. When you master emotional balance, you create an environment where people respect your feelings and recognize your value. You're no longer seen as someone who is easily swayed by emotions, but as someone who can navigate relationships with maturity and grace. Now that you've learned these 10 ancient reverse psychology techniques, it's time to put them into action. Each of these principles is rooted in Buddhist philosophy and offers a powerful way to improve your relationships and increase your self-worth. Whether it's through the power of absence, protecting your time, embracing mystery, or prioritizing yourself, these techniques will help you create healthier, more balanced relationships where both parties feel valued and respected. The beauty of these principles is that they aren't about manipulation or playing games. They're about creating a healthy dynamic where you can be your authentic self while fostering genuine connections with others. By applying these Buddhist-inspired techniques, you can cultivate relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and appreciation. Relationships that could benefit from these principles. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear how these insights have helped you improve your relationships and your life. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on how to improve your relationships and life. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.